one of the most violent and notorious armed robberies ever carried out in Britain, took place at a nightclub in Ilford, Essex back in 1988. It was carried out by a man who was feared and respected in equal measure. His name is Vic Dark.
It's hard to explain. It's excitement, and you're a genuine junkie. You sort of like you live on the excitement of it all. You believe in your own, like carrying a 38 underneath your arm. You believe in your own gangster sort of untouchable. You're in this shell and you think you're untouchable. You know, you really do think you're untouchable.
After a string of armed robberies across Essex and the southeast, Dark and an accomplice set out to rob the Penthouse nightclub in Ilford in September 1988. It was supposed to be an easy job. Go in, grab the cash from the night's takings and leave quickly. What happened has gone down in the pages of criminal history.
So what happened that night in Ilford?
I'm bored out of my head. Said there's about 25,000 or 30,000, which was quite a lot of money at the time. They said all you got to do is walk in and wrap a couple of people up. We've got people in there, let you in the back door. I said no problem. So I went up there, all rucksacked up, because as you go up in the lift, you'd be met by doormen. And obviously I went up with a rucksack on my back with my clothes in. I was put in a room, and the fella said he was going to let me out with three knocks. And obviously he let me out, it was a Caribbean dude. And he let me out, it was about 120, probably, I think it was 140 people was in the club when I come out, which was supposed to be 3 people. And it just turned into mayhem. I was chinning people left, right, centre. As I was laying them all down, they thought it was a joke. You know, obviously I've got a big balaclava on, and I'm saying to this big, tall, black kid, I'm going, get on the floor, and he's looking at me like that. I went, get on the floor, and obviously I went bang. And all of a sudden in the statements he says, I see Omar suddenly hit the floor, you know, and then obviously they realised it was real. You know, and I started, obviously, well done martial arts. I run and kicked some geezer in the chest, and he flew back, and then I just said to my mate, just rip the phones out. And as I walked out, the first thing I see is a bow tie, so I hit him with an elbow, he went straight down. And then walked onto the dance floor, and then obviously the geezer with me decided to shout my first name out. Well, I thought he was ripping out the funds. Obviously, as I went like that, the geezer grabbed the gun. And,
who grabbed the gun then?
The nightclub owner.
Oh, the manager?
Yeah, so it was, I can't really say it was me or it was him, but he got shot. So,
Where was he shot?
Apparently went through his thumb, one through his arm, one in his stomach. So, but it wasn't intentionally. It wasn't like weren't done like blatantly to hurt him.
Just in the struggle.
In the struggle, what happened? Yeah.
Dark's accomplice was also shot in the melee, and hearing the sirens of the first police vehicles arriving, he decided it was time for them to leave. And so he carried his partner down the stairs to the street.
As I walked out, I was carrying him, and I had him across my shoulder. So as I'm walking, I think, oh, we got away with this. And all of a sudden, obviously, police cars, they go, that's them over there. So I picked the gun up, and they all sort of all backed off. And the cars were safe from me to say, back there. And I just said to them all back, or shouting out, go back, so all the police cars reversed back. And then as they were reversing back, I went round the corner to get into the car, and then obviously a police car pulled up in front of me, and I went to take the policeman out of the car, and as I went, I looked up, and all the police cars were there, so I thought, I've got no option, so I put him back in the police car, put my mate in the police car, and that was off. So I went through Ilford about 100 miles an hour, sirens going, so I just said to the copper, I put a gun in his neck, said, look...
Was the policeman driving you?
Yeah, best rally driver I've ever had.
Doesn't work there, does he?
No, but he was a fucking good driver too. He wasn't. I was serious. I ain't joking. He was fucking motoring through 7. He was going through red traffic lights. We went over roundabouts. Obviously, I'm surprised that he was like. So, anyways, so.
What was you saying to the policeman?
I just put a gun in his neck. And I said to him, "Tell him to back off." So, obviously, I could still the signs. It was going 100 miles an hour, and all of a sudden, there's a big bang. and it just missed his head and blew the window out.
But the gun went off?
Yeah, it went off and blew the window, not intentionally, blew the window out. So he really thinks that I've done it for purpose. So obviously now he's turned into a super, he's like Lewis Hamilton.
Eventually they were able to get some distance between themselves and the police chasing them, and they pulled up in a residential street to change getaway cars.
I went to the front door and this Irishman comes to the door.
But he just went to random house and banged the door?
Yeah, so I put the gun in the back of the policeman's back. I said, tell him you want his car. So the policeman was saying to the Irishman, I want your car. And being a typical Irishman, he was going, what are you talking about? What do you want my car for? And I went, just give him the fucking car. Anyway, so he went and got his keys, come back out. So as he's looked, and the copper, instead of going, sort of taking the keys, I had 2 guns. So he went to give me the keys. Well, I can't take 2 handguns, 2 .38s. I was like that. Sort of like that, the 2 .38s. And he's looked at me, the Irishman, I've looked at him, and I realised he's only got his underpants on, which was quite funny, right? So I said, you're coming and all, mate. So the Irishman said, who, me? I went, yeah, you, come. I grabbed him. He had a vest on and his underpants, poor bastard. So I've got a policeman, an Irishman, a shop man and myself. Then we're off again. So all of a sudden, he's going left, right, and I didn't know where I was. So the person with me is going, Vic, I've been shot. I told him to shut up. So then he's going like that with his fingers. So we're doing about 80 miles an hour and we decide we hit a wall. So the car was like smashed up like that. So he's jumped out, the policeman. I looked at him and went, go fuck off, because I don't need it no more. I see a couple of police cars in front of me, sort of all come up, load of police cars. So I looked round like that and I thought, oh fuck it, I'll take another police car. You can see in the depositions, I ain't bullshitting, so I started running like that. And I could see all the coppers' faces looking in the police cars. They was all looking at me like that. And they was going, this geezer's run at me with 2 handguns. And obviously I was like that. And I went, shot at them, and they fucking went, they started going everywhere then. So I couldn't catch the police cars. So I turned round, went back, and I shouldn't make a joke of it, it was a Chinaman. And it was like what you call Chinese takeaway, so. So anyway, so I walked up, put the gun to the Chinaman's head, I said, get in. And there's a bird, right? His bird's going, I want to come. I went, fuck off, you ain't getting in the car. So I get hold of him, throws him in the car. It was like saying, it was fucking mad. So the bird's, I've got my foot, and I'm pushing this fucking bird out, trying to get in the car. She's trying to get in the car, I've took her old man hostage, and she's trying to get in the car with me. So I'm getting my foot and pushing her out the fucking car, because I don't want to take her hostage. Anyway, so the geezer with her chucks him in the back. He gets to the safe house. So I froze him. So what I'd done, I remember throwing the door open like that, because obviously all the cars were behind us. I didn't want to know where he got out. So also I stopped. He ran into an house, which was a safe house. And I just kept on going. And then after that, kept throwing the door open, kept throwing the door open, kept throwing the door. And then I realised it was like a big snake. Like it was must have picked up about 10, 15 police cars, maybe more. And I knew it's a matter of time before I'm going to walk into a roadblock, and obviously they're going to try and iron me out, so I ain't stupid. And so I thought, so what do I do next?
Dark eventually took refuge in an open field, where he hoped he could lie undetected until things quietened down. But freezing cold and wet, with hypothermia setting in, he was unable to remain hidden any longer, and so he made a run for it across the field and was arrested. And there the events of the day should have ended, but they didn't.
I'll get Nick, take me back to the police station, so I thought, fuck it, I'm going to get out of this, I ain't going to stay here. So they moved me quick in a van. So I get charged, go to court, put in a prison van, like a protective van, and it had a big net on it. And at the time, it was a racket cover, and I thought, how the fuck can I get this off? And I just went like that. I'd done it. At the time, I was a lot stronger than I was now. And I went like that, and it went ting. I couldn't believe it, just fell through. But now I've got the metal side of the van. I've got 2 years for this, 2 years concurrent. I was sitting there like that, and I've waited, and the 3 coppers in the front, and I didn't realise they had police cars behind me. And I jumped up, ripped the side of the van off, got the paperwork there, you can see it, I ain't lying. So I ripped the side of the van off, and they couldn't believe it. The coppers sort of looked round like that, and I fucking ripped the side of the van off. I don't know who done it. I just ripped the side of the van off, and where I'd done martial arts, there was about a window like that. I kicked that out, that went out. So I thought, fuck it. So, but the only problem, where it was small, I tried to get through like that. So I got halfway out, and his coppers ran up, jumped out, so I grabbed him with one arm round the neck, and he's screaming, and the other one, I grabbed him by the uniform, and as they were scram, they started pulling me out of the van. All of a sudden I went, you move, I'll blow your fucking head off. Obviously, like, I didn't know, they put a big gun in my head like that. I went, ah! So the dirty bastards fed me back through the van, right? Fucking put me down. I ended up in the West End Central police station. Then that was it. I was straight double A cat, and I looked like a canary for the next 10 years.
After 19 years inside as a high-risk double Cat A inmate, Vic Dark was eventually released and met at the prison gates by his brother.
And I remember sitting there, and I was in the reception, and I went, and I didn't want to ask the screws because I kept going, you know, I'm thinking to myself, he's going to be, and all of a sudden I heard the screw walk and go, fucking hell, you see that big Bentley turn up outside, the Bentley Vazoo, and I knew it was my brother's, and I thought, yes. So I walked outside, got a big bottle of champagne, give it all that, yeah, you know what I mean, one of those ones. You see them all looking out the window going, you flash cunt, you know what I mean, but what a nice way to come out, you know. And talk about rubbing it in their faces, you know. But I remember the screw walking and going, fucking great big Bentley out there, convertible, I ain't never seen nothing like it. And it was my brother, wasn't it? I thought, well, yeah, I've arrived, you know.